Okay, now we'll draw a landscape. This landscape, this is a photograph of Jubilee Park of Jamshedpur. Okay, so before you start drawing a landscape, you need to find out which is the area you want to draw and put it in your frame. Some small gadgets are very helpful for doing the composition or framing. Like this is just a paper cutout or a viewfinder. You look the scenery through this and decide as to which of the area you want to paint. Like here, you can see the extremities of, suppose this area you want to paint. So you can define the extremities on the left and right and bottom and top. Then also, if you want to have some flexibility, you can have a cutout like this, two L-shaped papers or slightly rigid cardboards or something. Thereafter, whatever size you want an elongish shape or you want a squarish shape or whatever, accordingly you can frame the picture. This is what you are seeing on the outdoor. You can have the view through this hole and accordingly decide what is the scenery or what is the portion you want to frame as your picture. So few things what you need to observe once you have already framed. Let's say we have framed this. This is the left limit is here, right limit is here, and we have this. Few things to observe. One is, where is my horizon line? The horizon line more or less should be around in the middle. Here it is slightly above the middle portion. So horizon line is somewhere here. So let me draw for convenience the horizon line. Now thereafter, what all things you have to observe is, what are the vanishing point, or rather where the objects appear to vanish. That means the tree line, let's say here is a tree here, the tree here also is of the same height and size, but it appears as if it has reduced in size and slowly here it has become a dot and it has vanished, which actually has not vanished, but it appears so. That is what is the perspective what we are seeing. So the same thing what you have to put down while drawing also. So here in this picture there is a vanishing point here, I can see, and all these lines, like this is a channel where all the fountain waters flow. So the width here is same as width here, but on the drawing, on the photograph, it appears, or what you see also, it appears as if this is narrower, but it's actually not narrower. That is what is the atmospheric perspective what we are seeing. Now here the mountains here it is slightly darker than what is at the background. So this is another aspect of atmospheric perspective. The things which are far off appear lighter and duller. Here it is not all that apparent, but what happens is that nearby objects, like if you have the bushes here, the bush here will have more details than the bush here, and of course this size will be much smaller than this. So these are some aspects what you need to observe, and thereafter when we want to draw, okay, we have seen this is the middle point. Here we are not taking into account some of the aspects of composition, because this is already composed, and though of course before framing itself you can compose it, but here it's already, now we know what to draw. Now this is the middle point. Now my horizon line is somewhere slightly above. If you see how I am holding the pencil, it is, you are not indenting the surface. So here is my horizon line almost, and I like to keep my pencils slightly longer, so that if you want to shade and you want to rub it from the side, you have enough portion of graphite available for you. Okay, so rough points, we have the vanishing point, let's say somewhere here, and we have this fountain. So if this is the center, I would like to slide, because these are all man-made objects. These are all these will be geometrically correct. So if this is 6, this is 12, let me check. So all these lines meet at the vanishing point. You need not be so rigid with your lines. It can be hand drawn, and in fact hand drawn is better. Free hand drawn is better, but as of now I am using this for my guideline. Okay, so this frames the main portion. Now here you can see another line of water which is going, and there is the road goes like this somewhere approximately, and these are the tree line. So you have one tree here, one tree here, and some trees here. And if you have the tree line starts from somewhere around in the middle, and it goes, this is the tree line. So you have the roughly, this is one tree. So this side, of course, you can see almost on the horizontal line we have the trees here. We put it like this. The trees, not all that defined here, but the basic shapes we put here, and thereafter we have the road also here somewhere approximately. See, while you are drawing a landscape, you need not be all that fussy about exactness, because in that process you lose the interest of the landscape drawing. Whereas if you are drawing a portrait or any object where your accuracy is important, you need to employ something like grid method or something, which the grid method I'll take up in my next drawing. So you have this. Now roughly we have a thing, the sketch is done. Now we have some mountains here, mountain range, and there is a range below. Now before we shade, we should get rid of some of the extra lines if we had drawn, like these horizontal lines and all. We can remove now, since our reference line is no longer required. That is why when you draw the initial ones, that should be very lightly drawn. Okay, now you can take up now I'm taking a soft pencil. This is 6B. Now I'll do the basic shading. This is blue in color, but here, since it is all black and white, this will not be all that dark, but we cannot leave it white also because it's not bright, whereas this center portion is quite dark. Now I'll take up a darker pencil. I'm taking a 8B now for drawing this dark area. So we have, this is a darker area than what we have drawn in the central part, and we have trees which are even darker. So now I'll take a charcoal pencil and do the dark areas and smudge them. Okay, now I'll take up a stump and do some sort of blending, but I'll not blend fully. So this is the basic landscape what I've drawn. You can keep working on it and improve on the highlights and shadows.